Imagine being in the middle of a tense chess match. The pressure is mounting with every move. You are searching for that one bold idea that could shift the game in your favor. Frank Marshall lived for this moment. His story isn't just about playing chess, it's about redefining the game, taking risks, and leaving a legacy. Let's explore how Marshall became one of the most daring players in chess history. Frank Marshall was more than just a chess player. He was a trailblazer. Born in 1877, he quickly rose to become one of the strongest American players of the early 20th century. Known for his aggressive and unpredictable style, Marshall didn't just play chess, he challenged it. He was always searching for new ways to catch his opponents off guard, turning the chessboard into a battleground of creativity and strategy. Marshall represented the United States in several international tournaments and was the US chess champion from 1909 to 1936, a reign of nearly 3 decades. His games were known for their flair, full of sacrifices that seemed reckless but were often brilliantly calculated. One of Marshall's most famous contributions to chess is the Marshall Gambit, an opening that remains popular among top players even today. This gambit is played in the Ruy Lopez, one of the oldest and most respected openings in chess. However, Marshall turned it on its head with a shocking move. Here's how it works. After the standard opening moves of Ruy Lopez, black plays d5, sacrificing a pawn. At first glance, it looks like a blunder. Why give up a pawn so early? But this sacrifice is far from careless. It creates immediate pressure on white, leading to a dynamic and often overwhelming counterattack. The Marshall Gambit is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. For those brave enough to play it, the Gambit can lead to swift and decisive victories. It's a perfect reflection of Marshall's playing style, bold, surprising, and always thinking ahead. Perhaps the most legendary moment in Marshall's career came in 1912 during a match against Stefan Levitsky. In this game, Marshall made a queen sacrifice so stunning that it left the audience in shock. The story goes that spectators were so impressed that they literally threw gold coins onto the board in admiration, an unheard of gesture in the usually quiet world of chess. Here's what happened. Marshall was playing black and Levitsky was putting up a strong fight. But then Marshall made an astonishing move, Queen g3, sacrificing his queen. This move led to an unstoppable attack, forcing Levitsky to resign shortly after. The gold coin game wasn't just a win for Marshall. It was a demonstration of his genius. It showed the world that sometimes the most unconventional moves are the ones that leave a lasting impact. Frank Marshall's approach to chess is something we can all relate to, even outside the game. Whether you are a seasoned chess player or just getting started, his story is a reminder that success often comes from taking risks. Chess is a game of strategy, but it's also a game of courage, knowing when to sacrifice, when to go on the attack, and when to think outside the box. Marshall's games teach us that it's okay to step off the beaten path. His boldness on the chessboard is an inspiration to be creative and fearless in our own lives. Whether you are facing a tough decision at work, in school, or in your personal life, sometimes the best move is the one that no one expects. So the next time you sit down at the chessboard, or even when you are faced with a tough choice in life, think of Frank Marshall. Be bold, take risks, and remember, the most memorable victories often come from the most daring moves.